You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know who it is, you know what it is. It's The Sizzle with the Hot 5 and 5, presented to you by Iron Skillet Sports. You know who it is. I'm your host, G Sizzle, for the Hot 5 and 5 here on Iron Skillet Sports. Listen, we love that we get to share this sports talk with you. But if you would like to hear more of this, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Remember, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and wherever you find your local podcasts. There we are. Iron Skillet Sports, the talk of the 219, the hottest talk in the region. We are the 219. Hit that button. Like, subscribe, and share now.
Neither USAG nor USOPC have ever been made the subject of the same level of scrutiny. These are the entities entrusted with the protection of our sport and our athletes, and yet it feels like questions of responsibility and organizational failures remain unanswered. As you pursue the answers to those questions, I ask that your work be guided by the same question that Rachel Denhollander and many others have asked: how much is a little girl worth?
Start with the Indianapolis field office of the FBI. Learning there were 3 allegations against Larry Nasser, the office was told all 3 females were minors, all 3 were available to be interviewed, but the Indianapolis field office of the FBI only spoke to 1 victim, and they did that on the phone. Was this just mishandled from the beginning? I mean, how do you make any sense of that?
You can't make sense of it, Jake. In fact, it was mishandled right from that very point. So the FBI has a Crimes Against Children initiative in every field office, and it's just appalling to me. It doesn't make sense to me that if Nassar had sent a photo of himself over the internet to a minor, the FBI would have been at his door within a day or two with a search warrant. He would have been under arrest, but yet he's physically abusing people in person, and nothing happens. The initial interview, Jake, should have been done in person, number one, not telephonically as it was. It should have been done with a female agent present and someone with experience in sexual abuse cases. Now, the FBI may not have had federal jurisdiction to move that case further down the line, and the Department of Justice may have said we have nothing to prosecute on federally, but it should have gone to a local agency, and there should have been follow-up. Michigan has a Bureau of Professional Licensing that could have been, if that was referred to them, they could have put Nassar, suspended his license, and it would have stopped right there. None of those things were done, and any one of those things could have prevented further abuse.
In a vivid and horrifying testimony that 4 Olympic gymnasts gave before Senate today, they discussed the abuse that they suffered at the hands of Dr. Larry Nasser before he was convicted of abuse. But this is something that goes beyond just abuse. This is a cover-up. This is something that Simone Biles, as she said, there was a pattern that was put into place by USA Gymnastics, by the U.S. Olympic Committee, by the Para-Olympic Committee. These were things that they knew that no one spoke about. In a statement that Simone Biles gave to the Senate, she said, "The scars of this horrific abuse continue, and the impact of this man's abuse will never be over." Olympic gymnast McKayla Maroney said that Dr. Nassar turned out to be more of a pedophile than he was a doctor. These are all things that we're learning as this information is coming out, but these are things that during the FBI investigation, they knew. So let's go back to McKayla Maroney. She said that she recalled telling her story to the FBI on the phone of all the interactions she had had, describing the abuse and saying what had actually happened, where she went on to tell them that, including before her win as a team win in the London Olympics in 2012, she cried and sat in silence. As these stories come out, we learn of the horrific abuse that these young ladies suffered. And not just saying that they're women, but they were children. They were young people who were entrusted with someone who was thought to have their best interests. And what we saw was an effect that rippled all the way to the new and 2020 games in Tokyo, where Simone Biles was so affected that the mental health issues caused her to pull out of multiple events. These are the things that we're talking about when we talk about young people and student health. We talk about youth health, athletic health. We're talking about young people who are suffering abuse and then having to go out and perform. These are the issues that are on the table when we talk about what is it that makes a mental health and young person mentally strong and ready to go. And a mental health when we talk about mental health preparation, mental health awareness, and mental health acuity, these are the issues that we don't even see, those of us who are spectators, but those who are actual participants. Some that are being involved in having to go through these horrific moments in their life where they are suffering abuse at the hands of those who are there to help, to train, and to guide them. These are young people. These are children. These are children who have been neglected and left behind by a system that they had faith in, they had confidence in, and they believed had their best interests at heart. Now, the question is, will they do the right thing? Will they go about finding out why this cover-up went? And more importantly, why wasn't the Justice Department a part of today's testimony and hearings? Do they not care? Do they not know? I doubt it is that they don't know. So it leads me to question, does the Justice Department and those who have sworn to protect student athletes, young people in athletics in our country, do they really care about the mental, social, and emotional health? And not even factoring in the emotional health of student athletes, of young people, of children athletes in this country as they prepare daily to entertain their countrymen in their sport. Something we'll have to find out, and it's something that we'll keep watching to see what really happens. But you know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle here with another Hot 5 and 5. And listen, you stay safe, be good, and we'll see you on the other side. Remember to look for our exclusive interview with Coach Angela Hamblin Blakely from the region. You know who only does it the way we do it, which is the Sizzle, right here on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Iron Skillet Sports. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to Iron Skillet Sports on YouTube at Iron Skillet Sports.